No ma'am, no sir, I am not paying $5 per stem. Hi you guys, welcome back to my garden. In today's video, I'm going to take you guys along with me as I do some of my chores. I have several different things that I want to get done. We are going to be planting up a beautiful lavender tree. Now you guys, if you want to start getting into topiary, I use some beautiful topiary lavender trees in my spring display, you guys. It was absolutely amazing. I had a total of 4 of them, and I actually gave them away. My arm was bent while I was giving them away, but you know, they kind of made a good point. It was actually to a family member. They came in town, and if you know me, you guys, one thing about me, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. But I love to send people home with gifts from my garden. So it was very special for me to be able to give them the topiaries. You know, it was one of the things that they focused on. I tried to give them a beautiful flower arrangement. You know, I said, let me make you a flower arrangement. Honey, you know I do beautiful floral work. Let me make you something. You know, we can customize it. You can come with me while we pick flowers. And you guys, let me tell you something. I don't take too many people with me when I pick flowers, especially if we're going into a floral warehouse. I don't take too many people with me, but I even offered, you know what, I'll take you with me to the floral warehouse. You can pick out whatever you want. The bill is on me, honey. She could have picked out some specialty cut flowers or whatever. I said, well, let's go to Sherwood Forest. You know, she's always asking about Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest is definitely a friend to the show. She always said when she comes to St. Louis, that she wants to go to Sherwood Forest. This time, honey, she had memories of my spring show in her mind. And she was literally focused in on those topiaries. Now, those lavender topiaries I actually bought when I was down in Arkansas, you guys, and it was an absolute steal, honey. I seen those topiaries. I grabbed them up, grabbed the rest of the stuff that I was getting from down there, checked out, and headed on back to the St. Louis region. So I did send those 4 with her. But I was able to get my hand on one of the lavender topiaries, and I like it because the way that it's shaped. It's not your typical thin ballpoint, but before we do that, I do want to check to see if my Tradescantia cuttings or any of the cuttings that I have, if they've taken root. We're also going to be watering a couple of different plants. I'm just going to take you guys along with me. I think the first thing we'll do is we will look at the Tradescantia cutting, and we're going to see if it has any roots. Basically just fell off from when I was working with my containers. So let's see if they have any roots. So this one right here, let me get in close and show you guys this. So this one has some roots. Okay, there we go on that back of that hand, baby, yes. Okay, this one has some roots. No roots with this one right here. No roots with this one. I have this little bitty urn, and I know it's so extra. It's like, honey, why can't you just take a little bitty vase and put it in some water? I could, but that's not how I do things. So what I'm going to do is, these 2 are fine, and I'm going to pot them up. But I want to show you guys what I like to use for my cuttings, my clippings, if I'm propagating something, if I'm coming in and I'm dividing plants. I like to store my terracotta in these cabinets. If you guys are new, welcome. Instead of me having my terracotta just stacked, what I like to do is I like to put my pottery and things like that, work them into bookcases. I like to work my pottery into china cabinets, and I typically go for the ones that have wood on them. Let's hop inside here because I have some small terracotta pots that are perfect for cuttings. So I have these smaller terracotta pots here. And then what I'll do is I start with this size, and then once they get so big, I'll go ahead and I'll bump them up to this size right here. To show reference to how small these babies are, look how beautiful these are. Like absolutely 100% gorgeous. Can you guys see that? just beautiful. And they do have the drain hole already in the bottom of it. That is what I like to use for my cuttings. But since we have the cabinet open, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put up these terracotta pots, you guys. Now, with this cabinet, I do like to color block my cabinets. In this cabinet, you will find like your terracotta pots, you'll find your creams, you'll also find kind of like the, you know, the basic terracotta, the orange pots, and then I do have my moss lined containers over here on this side. I do want to add these cream pots. So if you have not got your hand on some cream terracotta pots, you absolutely 100% have to. So I have a stack of these cream that we're going to put up as well. We're going to have to do some arranging around in the cabinet. I also have just a basic double rimmed terracotta pot, and I like these, you guys. So in my back garden, I have a hedge of Taylor junipers, which is my favorite evergreen. Honey, you can keep the arborvitaes. I have Blue Point junipers inside of my window box, you guys. And I'll give you an update on how the window box is looking. And actually, that'll be great because you'll be able to see the reference between where the mum containers are and the window box. So if you've been following along with my videos, you know where we are as far as putting content out. But you guys, I like these because they're the miniature size. All right, here's the second one. So same thing here. I have 8 of these, 8 of those, and you guys, I recently just celebrated my birthday and I asked for terracotta pots. Give me some terracotta. You can give me the regular terracotta, you can give me gray, whatever you can get your hands on, honey. Give me some terracotta. And that's typically what I ask for, like on birthdays and Christmas. I ask for things for my garden. That way I can keep, my coins in my pocket, for spending things that I need to spend money on. We have like that white right there. I typically don't like to do that. Move these smaller ones down on this shelf in order to get the white ones up here. I think what I'm gonna do, I'll just move out to the side right here. I'm headed back out of town for a symposium. While I'm gone, I think I'm going to have my family pull my summertime annuals because I just can't do it. They look too amazing. But that way when I come back, because we're going to start to have a downshift in temperatures, so I know definitely for sure that they're not going to look as good as they're looking now when I come back. Maybe they could, maybe they're not, but we're not going to wait around to see. So let me show you guys what the front area is looking like for a final look, honey, before we pull them out. Let's go. Our last look before we go in and pull everything out. It's definitely starting to look like fall now, but everything just turned out to be just so amazing throughout the season. You guys see the impatiens here. They're looking absolutely amazing. And then we have our official fall color on our Bobo hydrangeas. Look at these impatiens. When we first planted these impatiens up, they were absolutely gorgeous. They looked amazing. The Bobos, absolutely amazing. And you guys, look at this. Look at this combo. Look at this. And I'm starting to see here where we have some leaves that's in there. But you guys, I actually overwinter my euphorbia. Over here just massive. So this is why I did not pinch my coleus here because I wanted my coleus to have this exact look right here that it has going on in bricks, because we're getting a brick pathway put in, you guys. I mean, but look at it. So as soon as the weather goes down a little bit more, the coleus is going to be like hasta la vista, so it's going to be no good. So I want to try to stay on top of everything, and we're actually not even watering any of the containers at this point. Got a bag of seed starter mix right here. So now I'm going to come in, I'm going to put fresh water in here. So I have some chicken wire. I take this, I put this down inside of my little opaque vase. I'll just put this down in here, and what that does, it helps the cutting, prevents it from falling down in the water. Okay. Went ahead and I potted up another poinsettia along with our lavender tree here. So since I have all of that done, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to finish the rest of my chores. So we'll go ahead, we'll get this cleaned out, and I do have some succulents that I want to get watered up. we are getting ready to give this front entryway a beautiful wintertime refresh. It's going to be very easy to do and inexpensive. Yes, I said it. Very inexpensive for you to recreate this look at your own home if you wanted to. Containers that we're going to be using, I have these two big large concrete pots that flank either side of my entryway here. They've been here for quite some time. You guys, if you've been following me for some time, I have a massive concrete collection of containers, from big, huge, very big, large containers all the way down to little, small, ornate urns of concrete containers. And I just don't stop with that. I love terracotta, I love honey, metal, iron, you name it. I'm trying to add it to my collection. But let me bring it on back in and get off of that container rant, because I love containers, and if you love containers as much as I did, it will be easy for you to go on a rant. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to come in and we're going to give these two containers a beautiful look for the winter. Now, a lot of these items will be very easy to source, and then at the end of this video, I'll tell you guys some of my top tips and tricks on how to save money with your winter containers. So let's get started. You know what? The only thing that I'm missing out here is some soil, so let me run in and get some. So we're going to be using this reef right here. So this reef is going to be the base. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start building this container, and I'm going to bring you guys along with me. So I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'll put everything together for us, and then we'll talk about the components that I use, and then I'll also remember to give you guys the tips and tricks that I use for this beautiful entryway container. After I do my winter containers, I go in and I spray my wilt proof. Now, in all honesty, I literally broke my own rule. So what happened was, a few years ago, I was buying floral magnolias, and when I was buying them, I asked them about putting wilt stop or wilt proof on the magnolias, because I know with magnolias, since they are evergreen, you can spray wilt proof on top of your evergreens during the winter time. It helps lock in that moisture, and you basically spray on the top and on the bottom of the leaf, and it'll help lock it in. So I was more concerned with conserving the brown, beautiful brown velvety texture of the magnolia. I wanted to keep that color locked in. When the magnolia leaves dry, you still get the brown and green texture variation. It's still beautiful, but you don't get it as intense. I was concerned with preserving that, so we asked about it, and they called Wiltproof and their distributor for Wiltproof, and they said do not apply it. So ever since then, I've made sure when I do my magnolias, I try not to get any Wiltproof on there. So what I do is I put my fresh greens in place, and then I go back in, and then I go ahead and get all of the evergreens a spray. Then I try to place my magnolia leaves. But I'm rushing because I'm getting ready to get on the highway to go out of town to Chicago for a symposium. So because I'm headed out of town to Chicago, I am kind of rushing. So let's go ahead and talk about the components. Now, I came in and I used my birch logs. Now, I've had birch logs in the past, so what I do is each year I just recycle them. Showed you guys, or took you guys along with me as I was decorating various areas of my garden, and I share with you guys a couple of tips and tricks. So one of the things that you guys can do, some places are charging up to $20 per birch log. Yes, it's insane. So if you're paying $20 per birch log and you have 4 of them right here, already that's $80. No ma'am, no sir. So what I would do is I would buy the longest one that I could find out of that group, and I would literally chop them into 3. So instead of you paying $80 per one container, you just only pay $20 for a container, and then you'll have 6. So then maybe the next year you can go ahead and then add a 4th birch log, or go ahead and spend $60 for, and then cut them to the length that you want them to be. I also came in with the birch logs. I wanted my birch logs to be more of a vertical interest here. I did not want to use any pine cones because in the front my display was very heavy on pine cones. Every container was draped in a pine cone, big huge pine cones. Now you do have some pine cones that are on top of the wreath. That's fine, it just gives you a little bit of added texture, but it's literally covered with the magnolia leaves and the greens. I have a fir here, and then I also have a arborvitae needle. And then I came in and I wanted my magnolia leaves to be heavy around the bottom here, to basically sit on top of my wreath here. So this year in my garden, it is definitely going to be the year of the magnolia and the wreaths, honey, and we are going to go all out in my garden. Don't forget to click like, because when you click like, it helps push this video in the algorithm. Don't forget to share. You guys can go and click on the clip part of the video, share your favorite part to your favorite social media sites, and invite your friends over here to the channel, so that way, you know, when you guys are talking, you be like, girl, did you see the video? Did she cut up? So go ahead and make sure you guys invite your friends and families over here to the channel so they can get in on some of our good tips and tricks. Because of inflation, a lot of nurseries are going up on the price that they are charging for wintergreen stems. So for example, I went into one nursery, $16.99, and the bundle that I had in my hand was literally 3 pieces of noble fir. No ma'am, no sir, I am not paying $5 per stem. I've showed you guys in the past how you guys can go pick out either a green Christmas tree, pick out a Christmas tree with the blue fir. I love, love, love to do that. That is a must for me every year. What you can do is you can go in, you can cut that right on down, and then you have enough greenery to probably do your front containers, a side door container, the garage door, flank the garage, and everything else. And then all you have to do is just buy your little accessories. Not necessarily little, but you know that's just how I talk. But you could just add your accessories in. Another way to save money is when you're using your floral stems. You guys can literally take anything, dry hydrangeas, stems, anything to elevate your containers. Now, my elevation in this container is definitely going to be my birch logs, and it is also going to be my magnolia leaves as well. Love to know what you guys think about this area. This is all I'm going to be tackling for today, because I do have to get on the highway. I made it back. I want to finish with the entryway containers. Now for these containers this year, I want to do it on the settle side. I'm ready to make our toppers for our winter containers. Very simple. You don't really need many ingredients. So I have some green paint here, and then I also have some dials. So let's go ahead, let's paint up the wood dials, and then we'll go ahead and put everything else together. These beautiful big large balls here. Now for this one, I'm going to go with a red one here, and the only thing you have to do is come in and you want to pop this top off here. So you can see where you have the hook on there. If you were going to hang this on your tree, you just want to come in and take that off. ornaments inside of these winter containers. I came in and I embellished the stem that the ornament is hanging on with a houndstooth bow. Very simple, very easy to make. Now, I wanted to keep my front entry containers very simple. A lot of the things that I used, I shot my own closet, except for the houndstooth ribbon that I'm using as my bow here. Let me know what you think about these two front entryway containers. I would love to hear it. I gotta go inside and get prepared for Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe.